Yeah, let's talk about the games happened on the 16th Wednesday. Okay, the first game is the Atlanta Hawks beat the Orlando Magic by 21 points. No surprise there. They won two games in a row, I believe, at least. DeAndre Hunter, 27 minutes, 14 points and a block. This game, due to the blowout, everybody played fewer minutes. Gallinari, one interesting thing is Gallinari started, played 25 minutes. So if his minutes going to be in the 25 to 30s, that makes him a streaming option. For sure, if you need some free throws and some threes and a little bit of points. Click Capella, just the 23 minutes. Continue to split minutes with Okongwu. He played 30 minutes last game, the game before this, and still put up an okay line. So I'm not too high on Capella, especially if you don't need the rebounds in the playoffs. If you're in a final matchup, there's no point holding on to him. If you don't need the rebound, then he's not even blocking that many shots. As well. Kevin Huerter, 24 minutes, 15. Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, these two guys, and Bogdanovich, you could all roster them. With Bogdanovich have the best upside in 25 minutes, coming off the bench, 23 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. That's pretty good, and 4 threes. So we gotta have him for sure. Trey had an average game. Didn't really need him this game. And Okongwu continues to play very low minutes and put up numbers. 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks in 20 minutes. That's pretty good. If this season he ever gets around 25 minutes a game, that makes him a must roster. 20 minutes, it's just a streamer. For the Orlando Magic, Mo Bamba, here we go, 26 minutes here. He doesn't need huge minutes to produce in fantasy. 26 minutes, had a block. We got to continue to hold on to him. Good to see him playing 26 minutes. Okiki still need to be rostered, 29 minutes, 2 steals in the block. Pretty good. Lately, Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba, and Okiki, these three are splitting the front court minutes. So everybody's going to eat a little bit. Mo Bamba is probably the best fantasy player given the minutes, and then Okiki, and then Wendell Carter Jr., honestly. Because Wendell Carter Jr. doesn't get the defensive stats. He had a block here. He's a very big rebounder. And hit some threes as a big man. Had a decent game here, and 6 assists is always good. Franz Wagner putting up just very average numbers with all the guys coming back. That's always going to happen with him. Sure, when you get to the playoffs, fantasy playoffs, Magic don't have a good schedule. You could let him go for sure. Cole Anthony, 23 minutes, 23 points. It was a minus 20. Played okay. And a block as well. Jalen Suggs. I think Jalen Suggs is going to have a pretty good finish. He's already playing pretty well. But a lot of his value is going to depend on how many defensive stats he put out. Because we know he's going to be inefficient. He's going to give us some points, some assists. But the steal numbers is really going to swing his value. If he can get up to 1.5, 1.6 a game, then he can push up to inside that top 50, 60. If not, then it'll be hard. Let's talk about the next game. The Detroit Pistons beat the Celtics somehow, 112-111. Celtics were favored by 13 points this game because they were hot. They beat the Sixers last game. Well, they had a couple guys out, Marcus Smart out, but they should be taking care of business at home. That's not the case. Detroit, they all play well. Jimmy Grant, one of his best games in a while, 24 points, 2 steals. I was going to say use this opportunity to sell high, but the trade deadline is passed in your league probably. So you can't really sell high or buy low on guys anymore. So just hold a pretty good game. Sadiq Bey, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals, 5 threes. Really good here. If you held Sadiq Bey all season, the counting stats are always there. It's the field goal that's up and down. Continue to hold on to him. In the playoffs, what this guy provides you: points and threes and rebounds. And if you're in a tight matchup coming down the wire, right, you could also let him go. A lot of those guys, even top 50 players, when you get to, let's say, the second or third round of the playoffs, and you look at your opponents and your potential opponents, if the guy doesn't give you what you need to beat the other team, it's perfectly fine to let him go, even if it's a top 50 player. So that's something to think about. Isaiah Stewart, 12 points, a steal and a block, 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Also play well, Kate Cunningham didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but the counting stats look pretty good. And with 5 turnovers as well. And Corey Joseph continues to get huge minutes. If you need assists in the playoffs, it's coming around the corner in a couple weeks. You could stream. For whatever reason, he's getting close to 30 minutes. He's getting more minutes over Killian Hayes, 18 minutes now. So, he should be getting close to 30, provide solid assist numbers and some steals. For the Celtics, Marcus Smart was out, and Robert Williams. Yeah, that's the problem with Robert Williams, is that he gets hurt a lot. What's the issue this time? Let's see. But the good thing is All-Star break is coming up, so it's a great reset for everybody. Right calf tightness. So, all those guys should be back after the break, so it should be good. Derek White. So this is why I'm not worried about Derek White. He still only took 10 field goals, but that's okay, 9 points. But he had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. That's where his value is going to come from, the defensive stats and the assist. Jaylen Brown, 31 points. Good stuff. Jason Tatum, 22 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal. They're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. And Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they've been playing well and healthy lately. That's the most important thing for them. And would you know it, Al Horford, without Robert Williams, gets the huge minutes and goes off. You cannot sell high on him anymore, so you just got to hold. This is what he can do, given the minutes and the opportunity. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks from Al Horford. And Grant Williams also played huge minutes. 41 minutes, 17 points, 2 blocks, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. All right, let's go to the next game. The Washington Wizards lost to Indiana Pacers. Full tank mode. We don't know when Porzingis he's gonna be back after the break, I suppose. But his outlook on the rest of the season is he's gonna for sure rest a lot of back-to-backs, and he for sure, if he gets injured, it's another Shea situation. They have nothing to play for, and he's very, very injury prone. But that's the price you pay when you draft Porzingis. Right? KCP went off 27.3 steals. There are a couple of Wizards guys we get potentially to look to stream and roster. KCP is one of them. Raw Neto is one of them as well. He provides solid assists and steals. Danny Advia provides solid rebound and defensive stats as well. So those 3 guys, they're going to have huge minutes. So take a look at them, see what they do, fix your team. You could have them. Kyle Kuzma, maybe is the biggest beneficiary with Beal out for season. And we see what happens when Porzingis comes. Porzingis is going to play center. They're just going to eat into Thomas Bryant's minutes, who only played 24 minutes with all the guys out. So he's not really fantasy relevant. Corey Kispert been getting 30 minutes. I don't know what this guy does, to be honest. He doesn't get a lot of defensive stats, it looks like. He doesn't doesn't take that many threes or make many threes, so we could leave him on the waiver for now. Danny Advia, Ron Neto, these 2 guys, and obviously KCP. We should look at them first. Those guys are going to have some value when we get to the end of the season. For the Indiana Pacers, another team, all those tanking teams, a lot of guys we could potentially look to stream. There's still a lot of guys out. We don't know if Miles Turner is going to come back at all this season. And Isaiah Jackson is out. Chris Duarte is out at the moment. Malcolm Brogdon is out. So when all those guys come back, I know Tyrese Halliburton is going to play huge minutes. I don't know if Buddy Hield is going to start. Maybe he come off the bench. But he should be getting 30 minutes as well. But I don't know Jalen Smith, Terry Taylor, Oshin Brissett, what their minutes going to look like. If they all play 30 minutes, and they are must rosters, right? Jalen Smith, we know what this guy can do. He had a couple good games on the Suns. Terry Taylor, we also know what this man can do. Same thing with Oshin Brissett and Isaiah Jackson, all those guys. If they are splitting the minutes, then we don't want to have anybody. But if one guy gets over 30 minutes consistently every single game, then we got to have that guy. Same thing with Chris Duarte. Is he going to get 30 minutes? Is he going to have enough usage when Malcolm Brogdon comes back? A lot of question marks. But I don't mind picking up some of those guys and, just after the break, see them play 1 game or 2 and then make more decisions after that. Let's look at the next game. Crazy comeback for the Brooklyn, and obviously not great for the Knicks. They just keep falling down in the standings. They keep losing games. For the Brooklyn Nets, Andre Drummond, he's settling in that 20 to 25 minute role, which makes him a must roster. Andre Drummond in 25 minutes, 22, 23. 22 minutes, he had 19 rebounds and a block, right? when KD comes back, he's even going to take some rebounds away from KD. That's just who he is. He's going to take all the rebounds. And a block 11. But you got to watch out for his free throws too. And as a big man, he's not a great field goal. But all the other stats are really, really good. So, especially if you're pounding points and free throws, or if you're pounding threes and free throws, he's a must roster. I feel like James Johnson, started and got a majority of the minutes, but I don't know how much it means. Bruce Brown went off versus the Kings last game, had 27 minutes here. Also, those guys, you could stream them, But after the break, when KD comes back, when Kyrie plays, some of those guys are going to lose some minutes. But Seth Curry, for now, with all the guys out, he's going to have some boost in usage. 20 points, 6 threes. I mean, just some pretty good numbers. Same thing with Patty Mills. Should also have a usage boost with all the guys out, but didn't play well this game. And Eldridge got 22 minutes, so it looks like Drummond and Eldridge, they're splitting the minutes, and then they're throwing Kessler Edwards a little bit, Blake Griffin. They also have Day'Ron Sharpe, Nicholas Claxton sitting in the bench who didn't even play. So there are a lot of big men, but for now, Drummond is settling in that 20 to 25 minute role, which is really good for his value. For the New York Knicks, man, Randall playing well, but with no RJ, Quentin Grimes got 30 minutes. Didn't really do much, to be honest. Randall and Evan Fournier actually took 40 field goals combined. There's a lot of usage. Randall without RJ has been putting up huge numbers. And I think you can continue betting on him to put up numbers like this as long as RJ is out. And the break is coming up, so that's good. He can reset. Everybody can reset, right? Because all the Knicks guys, we know how they get no rest usually, and they play close to 40 minutes a night. Mitchell Robinson, still in 3 blocks, just 22 minutes with 5 fouls. No worries. I think Mitchell Robinson, another guy, is going to have a huge finish. Struggled beginning of the season. If you held him through, then congratulations. I feel like last few games we've seen, he's playing hard. He's playing pretty well, putting up big rebound numbers, big block, big defensive numbers. And I watched some of the games. He's clearly trying very, very hard on the defensive end. Evan Fournier, 31 minutes. Can you really trust it? For now, he's had a couple of good games in a row, so just write it out. Kemba starting at 20 minutes. Alec Burks, 26. Emmanuel Quickly, 20. Cam Reddish, 13 minutes. I don't know what the guards are doing, to be honest. Alec Burks was getting 35 plus minutes. He had Tom Thibodeau's trust. Not anymore, though. Okay, let's go to the next game. The Sacramento Kings lost to the Bulls 118-125. The new De'Aaron Fox, man, 26 field goals. That's what it takes to score 33 points. Hit 2 threes, 3 for 4. Really, that trade, man, Tyrese Halliburton trade, really unlocking De'Aaron Fox. And he's going to be a beast on the stretch as well. Just more engaged, more more aggressive. The fact that he took 26 field goals, a little bit too aggressive. Also had 9 assists. Just a really huge game from him. Justin Holiday, watch out. He hit 6 threes. 100% could be a streamer. They're playing him huge minutes. At the shooting guard this game and 2 blocks. So for sure, if you need some threes and some defensive stats, he's one of the guys on your waiver wire for sure. Sabonis, 37 minutes, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. He just fits right in, putting up big numbers right away. That's good. But the thing is, Kings, do they have anything to play for? They might be, with the new rule, like there are 2.5 games out of the 10th spot. So, hey, like if the Lakers drop a few games, if the Portland Trailblazers, who's in tanking mode, lose a few more, then that spot is open. So they have something to play for, which is good for all the fantasy players. Harkless, 3 steals, just a defensive streamer. And Harrison Barnes only took 7 field goals, 17 points. Okay, game in. Rashawn Holmes, if you still have him, you got to drop him, right? Because They're not gonna play Sabonis and Rashawn Holmes together. It doesn't work out. So at most, if Sabonis had some foul trouble, play 30 minutes. At most, Rashawn Holmes plays 18. So unfortunate, but we gotta let him go. Dante DiVincenzo 9 points. Let's see what Donovan Mitchell was out this game, so if Donovan Mitchell played, I don't think Dante DiVincenzo is gonna get this minutes. And for the Bulls, Javonte Green shot the ball super well in a block, but you mainly get him for defensive streamer for defensive purposes. DeMar DeRozan 38 points versus the Kings. I don't think that's really surprising. He without Zach LaVine, he goes off pretty much every single game. Vucevic, great game. And he's been playing well for the last month or so. Last month or two, to be honest. And Kobe White, yep, this is what this guy can do. 31 points, 6 threes, 6 assists, and a steal. But with Zach LaVine back, obviously he won't have this. I mean, he took 19 field goals, Nikola Vucevic 18, and then DeMar DeRozan 27. All the other guys, well, Ayo Dosunmu also took 11. But those three guys took like over 50% of the usage, right? Ayo Dosunmu continues to play super well, but when Alex Caruso comes back, when what's his name, Lonzo Ball comes back, hey, and Javonte Green, they're not gonna have any value. Same thing with Kobe White. So enjoy it while you can. After the All-Star break, those guys are gonna start coming back, maybe another week or two. But with them out, these guys been putting up some crazy good numbers. Dosunmu probably averaged more assists than Lonzo did, with the time that he started for the Bulls. Okay, let's go to the next game. Wow, this game was a surprise. The Portland Trailblazers beat the Grizzlies at Grizzlies. Grizzlies is one of the best teams in the NBA, so it is a big deal. How Portland was able to win games with this lineup. Well, to start off, CJ I'm not too sure about his value, but he could also be rostered. For the rest of the way, he's gonna play 30 minutes. Had a block, obviously a really bad game from him, but I think we could stream this guy for sure. But Justin Winslow, Yusuf Nurkic, Josh Hart, and Anthony Simons, these 4 guys are locked in for huge minutes, for huge usage, and they're all gonna have a big finish. Anthony Simons, I think he might be end up better than Dame. It'll be close. Having Dame total value wise, because Dame would miss a lot of games beginning of the season, right? This guy is young. He obviously free throw wise in category leagues, he's nowhere near where Dame is, or where Dame has been throughout his career. But like the volume of points he provides, the volume of assists, the volume of threes, they're all pretty close to Dame's. Pretty close, right? Dame is going to average 26, 27. So points wise, yes, it's going to be a little bit off. But man, Anthony Simons is putting up some great numbers. And I don't know if he's going to hit the wall. If the opposing defense is going to look at him as the first option, their main goal is to shut him down, then he's got to know how to facilitate. But for now, he took, looking great. Josh Hart also playing on this team just. If you play on any young team, they run a lot. They like to get up and down, so that's also great. Always great for these guys' values. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Really good stuff, and 3 threes. Yusuf Nurkic, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. Yep. The 2 biggest usage guys, Damian Lillard and CJ, out of the way. Nurkic is their best player, and he should act like it. Also, very, very big finish. And Justin Winslow. He's going to provide very solid defensive stats, assist, and rebound. But just watch out for his efficiencies and turnovers. But he's a must roster. And then for the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr., this is why he's very up and down. He had 5 fouls, played just 26 minutes, had 3 blocks, which is really good. But the rest of the line looked pretty bad. And Desmond Bain and Ja Morant, these 2 guys scored 74 points. I guess that's not great basketball when have such high usage. Ja Morant went to the free throw line 25 times. My God. I mean, it just shows like the Portland Trailblazers, they cannot stop Ja Morant. Anthony Simons cannot. Nobody can on this team, at least. Huge game, and the break is coming up, and John needs a rest. I think he deserves it. Desmond Bain hit 7 threes, 30 points. Another great game. Dylan Brooks is gonna be back once the break is over. Well, I mean, he's kind of close, so we'll see what happens with those guys. Steven Adams played a few extra minutes. Also had 5 fouls. And I think Brandon Clark, for sure, we could stream this guy. He's been getting around 20 minutes. Also had a pretty good game. And DeAnthony Melton just 17 minutes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure once Dylan Brooks comes back, DeAnthony Melton may not even have stream value because he's just going to play 15 minutes a game, right? Which obviously sucks. We know he's great when he gets the minutes. Okay, let's talk about the next game. The Toronto Raptors beat the Timberwolves with no Van Vliet. And break is coming up. It'll be good for all the Toronto Raptor guys because they've been playing huge minutes. Pascal Siakam, 40 minutes. Gary Trent Jr., 40 minutes. Both guys put up great numbers. 17 points, almost a triple-double from Pascal, and 2 steals. Gary Trent, 30 points. I mean, the guy has hit 30 points a lot this season. He's one of the biggest fantasy steals in the draft. He's putting up top 30 value, top 35. And where was this guy getting drafted? Super late. And 5 threes, very, very good, and a steal. Scary stuff from him. Scotty Bombs, play well as well. 3 steals in a block, 9. He's been very bad lately, because with all the guys back and healthy, the usage, he's not going to have great usage, but I want him to get more defensive stats, which he did this game. He started as a point guard, He can maybe just focus on getting the defensive stats. That would be good for his fantasy owners if he can just do that. OG Anunoby, not great. Was in some foul trouble. No defensive stats. The last couple games was rough, but that's what happens with OG. Just maybe he's tired. All-Star break is gonna reset him. Obviously, he's a must roster. You don't drop him. And for the Timberwolves, really bad game from Anthony Edwards. 6 points. I think he was questionable coming into the game. So maybe he's not 100%. Just rest up. And Jared Vanderbilt played just 17 minutes. Why is that? I don't know. They gave the minutes to Jaden McDaniels. Maybe because Jaden McDaniels is playing really well. And Vanderbilt was not. But I think next game he's going to go back, plays to 30 minutes. So just hold him. No worries, just hold him. Karl Anthony Towns, 24 points, 11 rebounds with 3 steals. Good stuff from Cat. Patrick Beverley, a must-roster guy. Just filled up the stat sheet. There's no zeros when we get to the rebound to blocks. Provides a little bit of everything. And D'Lo also had a very rough game. This is what Raptors can do to you. With all those long arms, defenders, in certain matchups, right? Especially the shooters. You play a jump shot shooting team. Jump shot heavy shooting team. They're going to struggle versus the Raptors, right? Raptors are kind of like, because they go small. So if you have a true big man, they're going to usually dominate. Let's say Chris Boucher, not a good, great interior defender. Not a great defender against post-ups, stuff like that. But help defense-wise, those guys are all beasts. They're super, super long. But they are, in terms of the weight, they all give up quite a bit versus a true big man. So I can see why D'Lo would struggle this game. Makes perfect sense. Jaden McDaniels plays super well. These are 2 good, nice games in a row now. Sure, you want to stream him. This game, Anthony Edwards did play, and he still got 30 minutes because Vanderbilt, they give the majority of the power forward minutes to Jaden McDaniels. But I don't think this is going to happen every single game, right? Because Vanderbilt is still starting. But Jaden McDaniels is interesting because he can get blocks, rack up defensive stats. That makes him a really dangerous fantasy player. Really great fantasy player. Okay, let's go to the next game. The San Antonio Spurs beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. No surprise there. And Devin Vassell is the guy. I think he's a must roster now. 15 points and a block. 6 assists. That's super good. The biggest winner from the trade deadline. But he's still going to be inconsistent. But now he's got the opportunity, and his game is very fantasy friendly, the defensive stats. he provides. Devontae Murray, 18 points, 8 assists, an okay game. Consider they play Oklahoma City Thunder, I would expect him to put up better numbers. Jacob Poeltl, 20 points, 2 blocks. Wow, huge game, 17 rebounds. Jacob Poeltl is pretty solid all year, especially if he pounding threes and free throws. Super solid guy. Super solid guy. Keldon Johnson, 22 minutes and 2 steals, and Durden played 22. Yeah, this Spurs team really not much to talk about. Josh Richardson is not getting any minutes, so we could leave him on the waiver wire. But Devin Vassell is a must roster. We gotta pick this guy up. And for Oklahoma City Thunder, Josh Giddey is really enjoying the time without Shea. Another triple-double here. You know, he was the youngest to do it, and against the Knicks, just the other day, he had a triple-double. My God, this man is on fire. This is why we love him in fantasy, because the counting stats are so good. But his problem is really high turnover, really bad efficiency. But really good game here again. And Shea is going to be back eventually. I don't think he's going to get shut down. People think he's going to get shut down. He's not going to get shut down. He might miss games if he gets injured again, but he's not going to get shut down. So when Shea does come back, Josh Giddey is going to lose quite a bit of value. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see. Isaiah Roby started, really struggled shooting the ball. I don't really trust the consistent minutes moving forward. Darius Bazley is the guy that's been playing really well without Shea. We still really bad game here, but we should ride with him until he loses minutes, right? Because he also got a pretty good upset. You know, the blocks, the steals he provide. This game, Pokusevski and Theo Maledon got the extra minutes. Pokusevski, we know this guy shoots like 20% from the field, but he's also a unicorn, can handle the ball. He can get steals, he can block shots. But at the moment, minutes is not consistent. And Theo Maledon, I think we know from over the years, he sucks. He's not great. Play well here, but we should not trust him. Yep. All right, let's go to the next game. Okay, so the next game, the Rockets at Phoenix, they only lost by 3 points without Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. Maybe they need to give Şengün more minutes. What a game from Şengün. 19 points, 14 rebounds, 2 steals and a block with 3 assists. Great efficiency everywhere with 4 personal fouls. Well, that's the thing. You know, once Wood comes back, they're still gonna give the majority of the minutes to Wood. And Şengün and Wood, they can play together for a little bit, but Şengün is not gonna get 28 minutes a game, I don't think. Maybe he continue to play well. Maybe he will. Maybe Wood is gonna miss more time. I don't know. But I know if everybody's healthy, it's not gonna happen with Şengün. But a nice game to have to see what this guy can do given the minutes, right? And they're playing Phoenix Suns, the best team in the NBA right now. Also defensively, Jalen Green 17 points, not too high on him. Dennis Schroeder 23 points, 9 assists. Sure, with Kevin Porter Jr. out, he's gonna put up some nice numbers on this bad Rockets team. Jason Tate, and they give me Eric Gordon. I thought he's gonna get traded, man. Why is the Rockets holding on to Eric Gordon and give him 30+ minutes? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think it makes sense to anybody. He should be giving the minutes to some of the young guys, since your goal is to tank. Maybe they think playing Eric Gordon 30 minutes helps them tanking. Maybe. 20 points, 3 threes. Took 14 threes, man. He's just here to break records, and maybe that's what Eric Gordon is doing. Jason Tate had a pretty good game, 20 points and 10 rebounds. But like a lot of the Rockets guys, they are, what do you say? The value is really borderline, and the minutes is up and down. But in the playoff, they got a good schedule. Sure, stream all these guys. You can even stream Jalen Green, right? If you don't worry about the field goal. For the Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges, he's been scoring a lot, but I want to see more defensive stats. Jay Crowder just 22 minutes with some foul trouble. He's a good streamer. 3 steals here. Had 1 3. DeAndre Ayton, very empty game from him. 23 points and 9 rebounds. Those 2 categories are good at field goal, but I really want to see DeAndre Ayton getting us more blocks, right? I really want to see that. Devin Booker against the Rockets filled it up. 24 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Really good stuff, even though he didn't shoot the ball well. And Chris Paul played just 19 minutes. Interesting. They want to rest him. Even though he played, they gave him rest. That is very interesting. They gave some of the minutes to Aaron Holiday. The rest already started when they play some bad teams. So this is one thing I do worry about Chris Paul is that, because they're so good, there's no point playing him. Cameron Johnson got extra minutes because Jay Crowder was in foul trouble. But if Jay Crowder misses games, I think the guy is a must roster. Very, very solid points, threes, rebound efficiency, and some defensive stats. JaVale McGee, 10 minutes, not really. And they played Torrey Craig, 23 minutes as well. Let's talk about the last game of. We got 2 more games. The Utah Jazz and the Golden State Warriors. Sorry, the Denver Nuggets and Golden State Warriors. Aaron Gordon, 10 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. An okay game, but Jokic went off here, man. 35, that's why he's the MVP. Number 1 ranked player in fantasy. Didn't shoot the ball from free throw line for majority of the season, honestly, but he's still number 1. It's not even close. Will Barton played 20 minutes because he, I guess, sucked this game. Gave some of his extra minutes to Austin Rivers and Brian Forbes. But there's really not much to talk about for the Denver squad because it's like the Mavericks. Jokic is too good. He takes all the usage and all the fantasy values. For the Warriors, right? Some interesting stuff. Gary Payton Jr. started and played 25 minutes. Oh man, six steals and a block. If he's gonna start, you definitely can stream him for some defensive stats. He's such a beast. Andrew Wiggins, ever since Klay comes back, he has not had many big games. 9 points in with 2 defensive stats is good, and 4 assists is also good. Klay Thompson, the minutes up to 30 points. 16. He's gonna give you some points and threes. I'm not too high on Klay, to be honest, because other than points and threes, he doesn't really give you a lot, and he's gonna miss a lot of games, and the minutes is restriction, all that type of stuff. Curry had another bad game. 1 for 7 from the 3. 25 points is nice. 6 assists, but man, he's not the number 1. He's not in the first tier. And then among the other guys in the second tier, I'm not sure he's first. Ever since Klay comes back, Jordan Poole want to drop this guy a long time ago, but he just keep putting up numbers. 15 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and in just 22 minutes, man. And Klay Thompson is going to miss some time. So whenever he misses time, Jordan Poole is going to play 30 and play well. So just continue to hold on to him, to be honest. And the last game of the night, the Jazz and the Lakers. The Jazz lost to the Lakers. They were the favorite. Donovan Mitchell, 30, huge game. Donovan Mitchell's been so good this year. 4 steals, 5 assists. It was against the Lakers, so that's understandable. Russell Westbrook, LeBron, they throw the ball away a lot. Really good game from him. Rudy Gobert struggled. 5 points only, and he was a minus 27. What happened this game? 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. Royce O'Neal, 3 steals in the block. Sure, if you play the Lakers, you can get some defensive stats. Bogdanovich, and Mike Conley. With Donovan Mitchell shooting this many shots, not a lot of people get to eat. So none of them play well. And Jordan Clarkson had 13 points. Hassan Whiteside with Rudy Gobert back, he's not really fantasy relevant anymore. But this Utah team, man, they've been playing really well. But other than Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, all the other guys are really mad. Mike Conley, I don't remember the last time he had a big game because this is the guy that you want to sell high, right, whenever he has a big game. And for the Lakers, LeBron, huge game, 33 points. And what he's doing at this age is crazy. AD got hurt again. He's going to miss a bunch of games. But the good thing is All-Star break is coming up. So maybe he doesn't miss that many games. Maybe he missed a week of action. Malik Monk, we could stream him, but he doesn't have that crazy value. Russell Westbrook, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Had an okay game. And that's it, guys. I'll see you later.